Hey guys, Baduk here. We're continuing with this Joseki shape, this time with the low third line extension. And we're going to look at how to invade that. Now, first of all, difference between low and high. First of all, the high one is played more often these days. And we're going to be learning in a future video some very technical reasons why this is played less. So be sure to see that video. First, we're going to learn today the more simple way of invading. So we're going to be learning this invasion, and in a future video, we're going to be learning this shoulder hit move, this very interesting, very powerful shoulder hit. So be sure to check that out. So when you play high, then later, if you do get another move here, it looks better because your potential is bigger compared to third line. And also, you can see it therefore as coaxing black in a way into maybe undercutting you like this, or even all the way over here. And then you get to play the next big move elsewhere. Usually early in the game, you should not actually defend this because that defeats the point of playing high. And you're not really gaining anything. So you're just like blocking what you already have, and black is expanding, and then maybe black just goes here now. It's too slow. White's not going to become a weak group, so as you learn these invasions of this shape and this shape, you'll see that in general, white gains a lot of stones as well from black's invasion. So even though white loses the territory usually, then white gets stronger out here. And so often white is able to play away after anyway. So usually after this and then black, something like this, white's going to play away. So that's why we need to learn these invasions for black, and of course for white too. So we're going to start with this one. In a future video, we're going to be learning this move. It's very, very powerful, and it has to do with part of the reason why this low extension isn't played as much as this one, besides what I already explained. So be sure to check that one out. Okay, so this invasion is very textbook, and we already learned this in another video for this situation. White would attach on top and black would just go across. So in this shape, white attaches on top. First of all, black's most common or sort of preferred move is this second line descent. If you saw my video on this invasion, then you might recall that if white cuts down, black's going to push up once just to create a bunch of center defects, like cutting points. But then black plays this move. Now, sometimes Hane first can be correct, but it does damage black's self on the other side after white blocks, and black plays here and white's ending up connecting. So I'm not really teaching you that, but you know, once in a while it can be better in specific situations. But Joseki wise, let's learn, well, we learned this one. And I want you to remember this spot. This is the second line right in the middle of these two sides of white. And if you look at what I'm showing for this invasion, you'll see that this move is exactly the same spot, right? It's just a different shape. The other shape looks like this. This time looks like this. But that move is in the same spot, and it's setting up A and B once again. These are connecting under moves. It's Miai. Miai means you take one, I can take the other. So black cannot be captured. So white just submits or sort of resigns themselves to letting black connect. And then this one makes this connecting move a little worse for black. So black goes ahead and takes this one. And white calls it a day and plays elsewhere. Now, there is potential for attacking this white in the future, but typically early in the game, it's still a little tough to do that well. But if it does get to the point where white is in any kind of trouble, white can do stuff like this. Or in some cases like this, this kind of jumping. So that's how that Joseki goes, and that's very important to learn. White can also, black can also push along like this. So if white blocks, black connects under, and if white, so white cannot cut black because that's Atari. So black can Atari, and after white connects, black can just save this side, connect here, and that stone's just dead. So this connection works, but if white wants to disconnect, prevent black from crossing under, white has one ploy that sometimes they try, which is here, to give that stone more liberties. Now, if black tries to connect under, white blocks. This cut this time is not Atari. So white is free to just capture that stone, right? So what black needs to do here, first of all, like we always do if you've seen my previous videos, is we push once to create defects. It's always a good idea to do this because with one sente move, which you even got your turn back after, right? You created 2 problems for white. They need 2 future moves to solve that. And you didn't even spend a whole move because this was sente, right? So it's very good. The only time you shouldn't do that is if you lost a very important liberty with the black group here, which we didn't in this case. We're still fine. So you're going to do that first of all, because it's always good to do. If you just try to do this right now, right, white gets the chance to make their shape perfect and, you know, change their mind basically. And then we're not really punishing. So we make defects. Now what you're going to do is actually ask white a question. Now you could Atari, right? You could Atari again and do all the liberty manipulation, which leads back to these 2 stones, right? So like when you Atari'd here, they have to connect, but at the same time you've taken a liberty of this one, right? So they connect. Now that you've taken a liberty of this one, this is Atari. And while you're Atariing that, you've taken a liberty of this one, right? So they save it. And that liberty manipulation leads to this move actually working. See, now white's down to 2 liberties. So if they really want to stop you, they're just going to get captured now. So, problem with that order of moves though, right, black plays here now, is that this looks like a little bit of a bad exchange. This is a bad exchange, helping white on that side. And now white can just change their mind and play a ladder, right? And just be pretty strong here. So black has a more clever order of moves. Instead of Atariing here, they ask here first. Now, even if white does the compromise, right, they still have that defect left. So their shape isn't perfect compared to if you neglect to push and you just go here, white can make their shape perfect. So you make it imperfect. Then you go here. They can compromise, but black is still happy. There's still a problem here, so you just connect. You could even play here if you want to leave the connection ability there, because this move actually still makes white unable to cut here. But depends on how you feel about the aji around there, of the way white can use it for things on this side. So this move would be just fine, this one here. But let's assume that white doesn't allow you to connect under. Now what you can do is just Atari, and capture everything. Even if white makes some kind of compromise by responding here, you just capture this and white is destroyed. White's pretty destroyed. So yeah, that's how this low extension and 3rd line invasion works. White attaches on top. Black can play like this, or if black really wants to strengthen this stone and is motivated to do that, then black can push and connect under like this and unite to that stone. Now there's one more thing that's very important to know, and the solution is going to be elegantly simple. So instead of playing here, if white actually plays this diagonal, this time we can't actually just bump, because when they connect, we don't really have any good liberty manipulation to set up on these 3 stones. Whether we push, whether we hane, nothing's really that useful over there. So this bumping doesn't really work for black. Now black can still succeed here by playing that spot that gives us the A and B connections under. So this move and this move. But black has a better way. So this exchange basically becomes useless, this bumping. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow what I said and make the defects first. After white blocks, there's these 2 defects, which is very nice for us as black. Now we have this going straight down move. Very elegantly simple, because now these 2 connections are going to work exactly as they always did. The difference, though, is rather than white ending up like this as they should have, like if black invades and white does the normal good move, and black does this, and white just fixes and black plays here, which is Joseki. White tried to scheme on us and play here to capture us, but we just punish it a little first and then play the same thing, and it just works again anyways. So now even if white fixes one of these cuts, you can connect and then just white still has another cut to fix. So good for black. So that's how this invasion works. It's actually pretty simple. If you go through it, or hopefully you'll find it's very, very simple. And make sure you learn that liberty manipulation for punishing. And in the next video, we're gonna look at this one. I would urge you not to miss that, especially those of you advanced players. Very, very powerful move, and it's going to explain another reason why this low extension is not played too much. By the way, though, if you are, for example, undercutting a black position, something like this, which is peeking under the black position territorially, and it's kind of annoying for black, kind of awkward for black, then it's actually still good to play like this. Their stones are not even in the right place to do the shenanigans anyway with this move, which we'll learn in the other video. So I still recommend the low extension whenever you're undercutting black to give yourself, follow-up moves like sliding under and whatnot. So yeah, that's gonna be it.